My name is James Choi. I'll be going over homework 6. So for the first exercise, I said that a union all operator doesn't remove differences, but the union operator does. The differences between unionizing two sets. And it's best to use union all when there are no duplicates because it has a better performance time than union. And they're equivalent when there are no duplicates between two sets. For exercise 2, we're essentially creating a fake number table by stacking rows on top of each other that have the contents 1 through 10. So if we run this query, we'll see the numbers 1 through 10 for the column N, as expected. For exercise number 3, we want to see who was active in January but disappeared in February. And if we execute this query right over here, you can see the expected output. The except clause operator sits between these two, and it says basically to take the January results and remove anyone who also appears in the February results. So on to exercise number 4. We want to see who's active in both of the months. So the only difference here is that the intersect replaces the except, and it keeps the rows that appear in both of the results instead of taking them away. So instead of finding who disappeared, you're finding who showed up consistently between the 2 months. So let's run this query over here and execute. And we can see our expected output. And if we move on to query 5, we want to see this query essentially gives us who was consistent in early 2022, but also brand new at the same time. If we run this query, we can see the expected output right here. And on to the last exercise. We're essentially forcing a specific order across a union all. So the problem with union all is that it doesn't give you like a guaranteed order for the rows. So the employees and the suppliers can appear in any random sequence. So the order by at the bottom right here uses the sort order first, so it guarantees that the employees will always show up before the suppliers. So if we run this, we can see our expected output here. And now we'll move on to Brandon's queries, his custom queries. Moving on, this is Brandon's custom queries and propositions. So his first custom proposition is that he wants to return a list of cities from employees and suppliers without duplicates. So let's execute this query and show it does work. Here we are. There are no duplicates. And we want to show the same thing, except we want to include the duplicates. So the only difference being the union all. Just differing from the union. And we can see here, we have duplicates whereas the previous query didn't. Here, we want to return cities that exist in both employees and suppliers tables. London being one of them. We see the intersect operator being used here. And in order to show cities that exist in employees but not in suppliers, we use the except operator here. And we can see these cities. That concludes the demonstration of the purpose for the 6 exercises given as the homework assignment and the 4 custom propositions that Brandon Cho came up with.